you're sending money there to protect Ukraine's border when we got the situation we have on our border.
Just in the last hour, by the way, Donald Trump has endorsed Jim Jordan. I've had Jim Jordan on the show many times. I think he's a good guy. He's great on free speech and the tech stuff, especially. He doesn't want to fund Ukraine. Here's a little video of Jim Jordan yesterday talking about what his policy would be related to Ukraine.
Well, let's talk a little bit about aid for Ukraine, because there are a number of conservatives who say in your conference that they will sink any candidate for speaker who does support aid for Ukraine. So where are you on that?
I've been clear all along. Why should we be sending American tax dollars to Ukraine when we don't even know what the goal is? No one can tell me what the objective is. Is it some kind of negotiated peace? Is it driving them out of the eastern Ukraine? Is it driving them out of Crimea, which they've had for 10 years now, or they took during the Obama administration? What is the objective? And so until you can tell me the goal, I don't think we should continue to send money there, particularly when we have the problems we have on our border. So that's fundamental. I just think that's front and center. And then second, how is the money that's already been sent, how has it been spent?
Right.
What kind of waste is going? Those are two fundamental questions that I think the American taxpayers want to know the answers to before they send any more of their hard-earned money there. Particularly, you're sending money there to protect Ukraine's border when we got the situation we have on our border. So those are the fundamental questions that we should get answered before we even think about sending more money.
Libby, sometimes it's hard to find white pills these days, but that seems like a white pill to me. Like, if we end up with him as the speaker, like, that seems pretty solid, right?
Yeah, I thoroughly agree on that. Jordan was one of the names floated during that epic speaker fight in January. He was nominated a couple of times. I think even Matt Gaetz nominated him a couple of times, along with Byron Donaldson, Donald Trump, and his pet cat or whatever else. But yeah, I think Jordan is actually a pretty stand-up guy, which is rare for a politician. And I appreciate his integrity on wanting to know where the money in Ukraine has already been spent and what the plan is for getting out of this situation. We hear Biden repeatedly say we're in it for as long as it takes, but we don't know as long as it takes to what. And I think that that's clearly so important. You also had the House and Senate, I believe, both vote against an audit for what happened to the money so far. We see Ukraine, which is a country that is known for decades to be a very corrupt nation. We see defense ministers getting fired, and we see consistent staffing changes. We see Zelensky actually putting in prison one of the guys who funded not only his acting career, but his political career. Now he's going after him. He's the big bad oligarch, probably because he got all the money he could out of that guy. So it's time to get rid of him. We don't know where the money's going in Ukraine. We don't know what the plan is for this war. We do know that the Pentagon reached out to Congress and said that they're going to have trouble replacing the weapons they have already sent to Ukraine. Biden has repeatedly promised no tanks, no F-16s, no rockets, no long-range missiles. These promises have consistently been broken. We don't know what else is going to be broken. There's, in fact, only one promise left that Biden has made that he hasn't broken with regard to the war in Ukraine, and that's that we won't be going to war with Russia. So if we continue on this course, we can expect Biden to break that promise as well. And before we know it, we're going to have an underfunded military situation here at home with our own troops. We're going to be continuing to pour money into Ukraine, and we're going to have our border completely decimated and our nation overrun.